through the veil of time. In a quiet village nestled in the arms of towering mountains, there existed an old legend. It was said that on the night when the moon hung full and silver in the sky, a portal would open, one that connected the present to moments long past. The villagers called it the Veil of Time.
Few believed in the ancient tale anymore. Time had marched forward, as it always did, leaving behind the whispers of magic for the practicality of daily life.
But for Mara, a girl with eyes that seemed to hold all the stars in the sky, the legend was more than just a story. It was a promise. Mara's grandmother had often spoken of the veil. She'd told Mara how, when she was young, she had seen it once, just a flicker, a shimmer in the air, like the world was trying to show her something. "It's a glimpse," her grandmother had said, "of everything that ever was. You see through it, and for a moment, the past becomes real again."
As a child, Mara was enchanted by the tales. But as the years passed, the stories seemed like fragments of a forgotten world. The village was modern now, filled with the hum of machines and the constant glow of technology.
But even amid the noise of the present, Mara felt an ancient pull. She dreamed of the veil, of stepping through and meeting those who had come before her. On the night of her 20th birthday, the moon was full. Mara stood at the edge of the old woods, where the village gave way to shadowed trees and untamed wilds. The wind whispered through the branches, carrying with it the faint echo of something beyond her understanding.
She closed her eyes and breathed deeply, remembering her grandmother's words. "When the time comes, listen with your heart. It will show you the way." A soft glow began to pulse between the trees. Mara opened her eyes. There, just beyond the first row of oaks, the air seemed to ripple as if someone had thrown a pebble into a pond made of time itself.
The shimmer grew brighter, and for a moment the woods were bathed in light. Mara stepped forward, her heart racing. The world around her slowed. The sounds of the village faded, and as she reached out a trembling hand, she touched the edge of the shimmering veil. The air was warm, soft, and yet it thrummed with an ancient energy. Suddenly, everything changed.
Mara found herself standing in the same woods, but they were different. The trees were younger, the air fresher. The village was gone, replaced by a small gathering of homes with thatched roofs and stone walls. People moved about, dressed in simple clothes, their faces serene and unaware of the magic unfolding nearby.
She watched them, her breath caught in her throat. Was this her village, hundreds of years ago? Her fingers curled into her palm, and she knew this was no dream. She had stepped through the veil of time. Mara wandered the village, her heart heavy with wonder and a strange, aching nostalgia for a life she had never known. The people here were familiar, yet distant. She recognized their features, the line of a jaw, the curve of a brow. They were her ancestors. She could feel it in her bones.
As she walked, she saw a woman sitting by a fire, knitting. The woman looked up, her eyes meeting Mara's with a spark of recognition. The woman smiled, a smile that mirrored her grandmother's, and Mara knew with certainty that this was the same woman who had told her the stories of the veil so many years ago. Tears filled Mara's eyes, and she knelt before her ancestor, the connection between them stretching across centuries. They didn't need words. The woman reached out and placed a hand on Mara's cheek, her touch warm and familiar.
It was a reminder that time was never truly lost. It only moved in ways beyond their understanding. As the moon began to wane, the air shimmered once more. The veil was closing, pulling Mara back to her own time. She stood, her heart full of both sadness and joy, knowing that she had touched something eternal. When she returned to the present, the woods were quiet again, and the village hummed with modern life. But Mara was no longer the same. She had seen through the veil of time, and she knew that the past lived within her, just as the future stretched ahead, waiting to be written.
The legend, she realized, wasn't just about seeing the past. It was about understanding that time was a circle, a constant loop of beginnings and endings. And through that loop, they were all connected, forever.